Hello, everyone. Hi, Jeffrey. So good to see
Hello.
you. Awesome. So this is Jeffrey, who is a participant in our Reversing Diabetes Revolution, and I'm super excited to just interview him and talk about his experience in reversing diabetes. And if you don't know me, my name is Charmaine, and I'm a registered dietitian who helps people reverse type 2 diabetes. So, Jeffrey, what drew you to the Reversing Diabetes Revolution? What brought you to us?
Yeah, so lots of things, I suppose. The first thing would be my annual visit to my doctor, where they did my blood test, on top of other ailments that I'm working with. She said, Jeff, you're type 2 diabetes now, and which I had never been diagnosed with before. And honestly, it scared the living daylights out of me. If you don't deal with it, if you don't take care of it, if you don't make big changes, there can be results and effects that come later in life, and that literally scared me. And so right away after she told me that, and my doctor said, you need to get serious, and otherwise I'm just going to stick you on medication, and you can just do that. And which didn't appeal to me because I'm already on enough medications. And so I started doing research because I thought, well, there's got to be a way to change this without medications. And so I did all sorts of research and looked at YouTube videos, and there was so much information out there, and so much of it was actually conflicting and contradictory, and saying the opposite of each other in various sources. Then when I bumped into your videos, obviously I watched a bunch of the testimonies of the results, which encouraged me. But I found that compared to everything else that was out there, your videos and the information came across, and you personally, you come across as so genuine. It comes across as if you actually care about the people that the program is going to take in. That's when I decided, okay, this is what I'm going to go for. I looked up the link and emailed you guys, and it took 2 or 3 days. And I'm just thinking, oh man, what am I going to do? They haven't gotten back to me yet. And then what you guys did, and then but I think you were out traveling or something. And then you guys finally did get back to me. And we had that initial interview. Can't remember the young lady's name, and where she interviewed me. And she interviewed me and my wife. They wanted, it's better if your wife is there because she's going to support you through the program too. And it was just such a great meeting and so informative. And it really made you realize just the authenticity of the program. Like, it's a real thing. It's not just a gimmick or anything. And so I guess just the genuine part of it, and the real, even just watching the videos, even when you go to Trader Joe's and you do the grocery thing or whatever, it just comes across as real people dealing with this issue with a great deal of success. And that's actually what brought me to the program.
I love that. Well, thank you so much for trusting us, because I know we are someone that you find on the internet, and you never know on the internet nowadays, right? But I appreciate the trust as well. And I know our team is very passionate about helping people. So how would you describe your journey as you start embarking on this journey to reverse your diabetes?
I would say it was fun. Having the coaches made the biggest difference for me. So in terms of the actual journey itself, the dietary changes were obviously massive and a huge life-changing thing for me. I used to eat lots of junk food, McDonald's a couple times a week, because usually I work on the road. So I'm usually going for some type of restaurant or fast food or just plain junk food. And so the dietary changes were significant and hard to stop. Well, with the coaches, and I'm just going to say Cara in particular, she was so good, giving you grace and giving you just being patient as I walked through the changes, and the encouragement as I went along the process. Well, it was amazing, because originally I thought I can just get the information off the internet and do it on my own and read all the books or whatever it would be. I have had my first few sessions with the coaches. I realized that there's no way on earth I can do this. This is too big of a life change. I need these people helping me, and they help me like crazy.
That's awesome. That's so good to hear.
I mean, there were times when I thought I wasn't going to get through, actually, and times halfway through I ended up getting sick, and then you're watching your numbers, and they're just going through the roof, and you're not even eating anything. And Coach Cara was so good, and she was just like, Jeff, that's nothing, don't worry about it, your body is just reacting to the sickness, your numbers are going to be fine. In the end, they were. And after the first sickness, I actually did get sick again, and then I thought, okay, forget it, I am just going to trust Coach Cara. It's time for me to go get my blood test. And I did. And when it came out at 5.6, I was shocked. Just shocked. And because it was at 7.7. And, but her coaching really, honestly, was like sometimes I just felt like crying. She was such a motivator. It was like, I couldn't have done it. This is honestly probably one of the biggest challenges I've ever done in my life. And she really was there for me. That's what I can say.
I love that. Yeah, so, I know she and I talk a lot about grace, the concept of grace and how we want to incorporate that in our client coaching. So to you, how has that helped you make this sustainable? Just knowing that, okay, you can have grace on yourself, like it's okay, that can be flexible. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, well, I think that because going into it, I didn't think that was going to be a part of it, but it did make the transition. And even going into sustainable, it makes it so much easier. Like, just knowing that you can be easy on yourself. You don't have to condemn yourself if, you went to, your grandparents' anniversary or something and had a piece of cake. The world's not going to end. Your numbers you're not going to lose it. All that pressure is actually off. Knowing that you can actually do those things, still participate in the events, still go to restaurants and all of those things. And you just know that you manage it on a daily basis, but you actually, after, if, you do have that piece of birthday cake at some place, and then enough that just, okay, so I had, a piece of birthday cake. So for the next few days, I'm going to be I'm going to watch what I'm eating and make sure I'm making wise choices for my body. And I would say this, I don't know where the questions are going to go, but like I'm 61 and I can't remember ever feeling this healthy or this strong before, like in my life. Like I feel so good. And just the amount of strength. And obviously Jake gave me a great workout plan that obviously made that happen, but it's just like, wow, like I feel physically, 20 or 30 years younger. And it's super. I know. And you combine that with the diet that we're on, or the vegetable or the produce or whatever based diet, and it's just like, it's a magnifier. And and having, anyway, so even that, the fitness part of it plays into the grace part too, because I know now from doing this for 4 months that if I did go have that piece of cake, I know that the next day my workout is going to bring everything back down to normal, and which is amazing. I had, I used to always focus on cardio, which is good, and going for walks and running, but the strength training, when you're watching the graphs on your app, the strength training versus cardio, it's just like, wow, like the strength training so quickly brings you back into alignment. It gives you more grace to actually do those things, and you just know how to recover because you guys have given us all that information.
I love that. And it's crazy because it's only been 4 months, but the changes that you're feeling and seeing is tremendous. And I love what you shared about now you feel, stronger than you've been in many, many years. And I think it's amazing how just these short 4 months can do to help you feel better.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I had one goal, and that was to reduce my A1C, right? Because that's what my doctor said. Jeff, you got to get this down. That was my goal. And I don't eat less than I used to eat. I eat the same amount, but obviously I eat different things. But what was a shock to me, not even being a goal or a planner or anything, 30 pounds came off.
Amazing.
4 months. And I wasn't trying to. I wasn't, it wasn't my goal. It had nothing to do. And I wasn't trying to limit the size of my plate or anything or how much I eat. And it's just eating healthy, with the plans that you guys give. I don't know exactly what happens, but all the weight seemed to melt right off so many years. And it's like, I'll be out of town, like during that process, I'd be out of town for 2 or 3 weeks, and I would go home and my wife would be just like, where's my husband? That's
funny. So you've been able to lose weight effortlessly, not even thinking about it.
Yeah.
And you're
it's
able to.
Part of the deal.
Amazing. And if you don't mind me asking, or if you don't mind sharing, what are some of your numbers that you've been able to see, throughout this process in terms of like blood sugar or A1C?
When I started, obviously I was at 7.7, and then I started monitoring. I would say the numbers, because I just using the app, like there's an app that comes with it. I would say my numbers numbers would go anywhere from 4 to 14. And when I was sick, they were up around 14 and stuff. And which is why I thought I failed. But I didn't. But I did. I thought, and that's where Coach Carr was just like so awesome. And but what she explained to me, it's not just that your number goes up, it's how fast it comes back down. And that's why I started paying attention to that. So I would see my number go up to 9 or something, and then I would watch to see how long it would stay up. And if it would, in the middle of the program, if I thought it was staying up too long, I would go do 30 squats or something, and then just to try and get it back down. And even though that was in the normal range on the graph on the app, it was how I managed it, I guess you would say. So but probably the most terrifying was when I was sick and I went to 14. That scared me. I didn't like that much. And even sometimes I think the lowest it got was, I don't know, 3.4 or something. And then I didn't treat it with food, but I would get up and just walk around, and it would just come back up to about 5 or 6. And overall, by the end of the program, it was normally sitting around 5 or 6 throughout the day at any given point.
Awesome.
Yeah. And then I learned too, because you really watch what you're eating and then what's happening on the graphs, and you learn what meals you can eat, and it doesn't do anything to your numbers. You might go have the meal and you're at 6, and it just continues, and then even throughout the meal and 2 hours after, it's still at 6. Like there's no change. And so those are the meals I would tend to focus on.
Got it. I love that. And what is your A1C now, if you don't mind sharing?
I haven't checked it for a while, but the last time I checked it, it was still at 5.6.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah. So it was 7.7 to 5.6. Is that correct?
Yep.
Wow,
yeah,
that's
right.
Amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of you. That's cool. And
thank you.
A1C, you don't have to check it every month. You can check it every few months. So that's amazing to hear.
Yeah.
And what would you say to someone who's on the fence about reversing diabetes or working with us? What would you say to them?
I would say these people are the real deal, and their results are guaranteed. And it's true. It actually, trust me, if I could do it, which anybody could do it. And I would say start now. Don't wait. Like, don't sit on the fence. Start. Because if you keep postponing it, you're just going to keep getting worse and worse. And so I would just say my advice is this is the program that you want to be in. And these are the right people, the right coaches, and they actually care about you, and they actually take care of you, which is different from other programs. I would say even, I would encourage them 100% to just start. I would say it is worth every penny and more. You know what I mean? And it's like to have a life change like that. Well, you can't even put a price on it. You can't. Like it changes your life. And, especially if you're either in a position where you feel like it's hopeless, because I kind of did. And throughout the program, there were parts where I kind of did. If you just jump in with both feet and do the stuff that you guys tell us to do, and take the advice from your coaches, and just know that it's not a diet. It's not a keto thing. It's none of that. It's real information, scientifically based, with proven results. And so that's what I would say. Just jump in with both your feet, get off the fence, and just do it, actually.
Thank you, Jeffrey. It means so much. And I know that I know she's already asking me to send this to her. I know she's excited to watch this. But thank you so much for sharing your story. And I'm just really amazed by how there's grace. Like, the coaches are amazing. I'm super grateful that, I have them. But also, I think I'm just so proud of you for making those choices every day, for, just, all right, like whatever you say, I'll go for it. And so I think you should be very proud of yourself too, because you did this. So
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, when I got my numbers in and they came in at 5.6, I wasn't expecting that at all. And I was expecting it to be around 6.5 or something like that. When they came in at 5.6, I got so emotional. And then I was talking to Coach Carr. Anyways, it was a beautiful moment. It's beautiful to realize that. And I know like 1,000,000% that without you guys, that wouldn't have been possible. I could have read 1,000 books and would have done nothing for me. And but you guys and Coach Carr were just like, awesome.
Thank you, Jeffrey. I appreciate that. It's, I'm grateful that we get to do this every day. That this is our job. It's almost like a dream to me, to Cara. I know we talk about that all the time. It's like, what? Like, we get to do this. And, we love what we do. And we're so grateful to, meet people like you that trust us, that, put what we say into action. And it's just a beautiful, symbiosis. I love that. Is there anything else that you'd like to say to the audience before we wrap it up?
Yeah, I would just encourage whoever is watching this video, you were meant to watch this video. I'm not a firm believer in coincidence. And if you're sitting in front of the TV or if you're surfing on your computer looking for answers for your health condition, it's not a coincidence. This is on purpose. This is something you're supposed to investigate and step into, and this will benefit you and your life. Yeah.
I love that. Wow.
Yeah,
I had
so much
goosebumps.
It was just that's it. It's true. If they are watching this, it's because they need you and your coaches and your program. That's the truth. That's the bottom line truth. So.
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I know not everyone, has the same belief, and we don't have to have all the same belief, but I also believe that it's not a coincidence. It's in your realm for a reason. And it's cool because I always pray that I believe in God, and I always pray that God will bring people that are praying for this to us, that are praying for a solution to us. And He does. And it's cool because I will get on calls with people and they're like, I've been praying for this. And, and I do think that it's amazing that you shared that it's not a coincidence, and, there's something behind it. No matter if you, join the program or not, but I think even just knowing that you can do this, that you can change your life is something that is powerful. So thanks for sharing that, Jeffrey.
Oh, yeah. Oh, rock star. I watched so many of your videos. I still think I'm talking to a rock star.
Oh, you're so sweet. You're the sweetest. Can't wait for you to, come to LA and, meet me and Cara. You'll see that, we're very normal people. Thank you so much, Jeffrey. I really enjoyed this conversation. It was very enriching, and I just love, being able to pick your brain to see how your journey was. And for those of you who are watching, if you're curious to see, what we do, what the science is behind this, I've made a free training. It's in the description below. But this was so powerful, Jeffrey. Thank you so much. And for those of you, I'll see you in the next video and hope you have a wonderful day.